Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jostin. We gotta talk. Because America loves to pretend that its leaders govern with the will of the people. But here's the truth. Fascists don't need majority support to rule. They never have, they never will. They survive by suppressing votes, rigging elections, controlling media, and stacking courts. They don't win because they're wanted, they win because the system is built to keep them in power. So from Pinochet to Trump, from the Nazis to the modern GOP, authoritarian regimes don't get power from the people. They seize power through manipulation, fear, and force. So welcome to episode 3 of The Rise of American Corporate Fascism. Today, we're exposing how fascists stay in control even when the people reject them. So let's talk about how elections don't actually mean democracy. Let's get one thing straight. Just because a country holds elections doesn't mean it's democratic. Dictators hold elections all the time. Hitler came to power legally, but used fear to seize absolute control. Putin wins elections, but silences the opposition. And the GOP loses the popular vote, but still controls the courts, the Senate, and policy. How? Well, because fascists don't play fair. They make sure the game is rigged before it even begins. How? Well, allow me to introduce to you the American playbook for minority rule. First, voter suppression. Make it harder for black, brown, and poor people to vote. Voter ID laws, polling place closures, purges of voter rolls. If your voice can't be heard, they don't have to listen. Second, gerrymandering. Draw district lines so they never lose. Wisconsin's GOP lost the popular vote but kept a supermajority. Texas and North Carolina carve up black and Latino districts just to dilute their vote. And third, well, the Electoral College. The presidency isn't chosen by the people. Bush in 2000 lost the popular vote but still won. Trump in 2016 lost by 3 million votes and still won. The system ensures rural white conservative states have outsized power. This isn't democracy. It's a rigged system designed to keep power in the hands of a shrinking white conservative minority. And they do this by stacking the courts. So when the people don't support your policies, well, you make sure the courts do. So fascists will install loyalist judges to protect their power. They use the courts to gut voting rights, workers' rights, and civil rights. And, well, they just don't care what the people want. Because judges are appointed for life, right? Exhibit A, the Supreme Court. The last 3 GOP-appointed justices were confirmed by senates that represented fewer Americans than those who opposed them. Roe v. Wade was overturned despite 61% of Americans supporting abortion rights. And corporations now have more rights than workers thanks to corporate-backed judges. Let's move on to Exhibit B, local and state courts. So GOP-controlled states are overruling local elections and stripping power from elected officials. Judges block progressive policies even when voters approve them. If you control the courts, hell, you don't need to win elections because the law is always on your side. And that's how fascists govern without a mandate. They stack the deck so they never lose. But they also do something else. They control the media. And if you control the media, you control the people. So a free press is the enemy of fascism. And that's why fascists either destroy it or control it. Mussolini controlled Italy's newspapers, Hitler controlled Germany's radio broadcasts, and as I have said continuously, the US media is literally controlled by 6 corporations. So how do they use media to stay in power? Well, first, they flood the airwaves with propaganda. Fox News, Sinclair Broadcasting, right-wing talk radio, 24/7 misinformation. Create culture wars to distract people from real issues like economy, wages, and labor. Second, demonize the free press. So Trump called the media the enemy of the people. Authoritarians always label the truth as fake news. And third, well, in this modern era, control the internet. because algorithms amplify right-wing disinformation, and misinformation spreads faster than truth. So if you control the media, you control reality. And that's why fascists make sure you only hear what they want you to hear. And now we got to talk about how fear is the final tool. So when the system starts failing, when the people start rising up, what's the final move? Fear. Fear of crime. Even when crime is low, they hype it up to justify crackdowns, just like what Trump is attempting in Washington, D.C. Fear of immigrants. Blame foreigners for economic problems caused by corporations. And fear of the left. Paint progressives as radicals, socialists, or terrorists. So they use fear to justify authoritarian policies because more police equals more surveillance equals more power to the state. Examples? Well, 9/11 was used to expand government surveillance, aka the Patriot Act. Black Lives Matter protests were labeled riots to justify police crackdowns, while January 6th insurrectionists were called patriots. You see, fear makes people accept the unacceptable. It's how fascists get away with everything. So look, here's the truth. Fascists don't need your support. They just need you to feel powerless. They rig elections, they stack the courts, they control the media, and they rule by fear. That's how they stay in power, even when they're in the minority. So jokester, what's the answer? I'm so glad you asked. Well, you have to expose the fraud, name the game, and show how the system is rigged. Fight voter suppression by organizing, educating, and mobilizing. Break media monopolies by supporting independent journalism and build real people power. The system isn't designed to serve us, so we must create our own. Because democracy doesn't die in darkness. It's unalived in broad daylight while people cheer. And the only way to stop it is to fight. So this has been the rise of American corporate fascism. And now that you see the game, what are you gonna do about it?